care if people are here illegally. I don't. Not even a little bit. I don't even care in the slightest. Not even kind of. Oh, but they're not here legal. Okay. Oh, but they're stealing our jobs. No, they're not. No, they're not. And I know you know that. No, they're not. Oh, they're taking Social Security. They can't even take Social Security. They pay taxes and then can't even get like half the benefits that we give. And even if they were taking our benefits, who gives a I don't care. Oh, they're taking our tax dollars. Okay, have my tax dollars. I'd rather have someone who has come here illegally get access to my tax dollars than the U.S. military. I don't care about it. I don't care if anyone's here illegally, and I don't care what they're doing. I don't care if they're drug dealers. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
I'm gonna tell you something that might be very hard for you to hear. Illegal immigrants don't take up all the welfare. Illegal immigrants don't get food stamps or SSI. Illegal immigrants taking up all the resources just simply is not true. And why do you think that that is true? If they do get aid, it's usually for something like Medicaid. And if you don't think somebody deserves the right to healthcare, no matter where they are, you're sick. You hear those police right now? That's because we just got a curfew for 8 o'clock in LA. And all of a sudden, I really want to go outside. Like, let me out.
Obama deported immigrants too. Obama deported millions of, that was also bad. That was also bad. It is so crazy to me how people, specifically Republicans, will always make an argument that's just, well, a Democrat also did a bad thing. Yup. I didn't like that either. I didn't agree with that either. Also, Obama hasn't been president in like 8 years. I was like 16 when he was president. Like, how is that even relevant? But yeah, that was also evil and bad. I think that all deportations are bad and morally indefensible. Yep, you got me. Now what?
I say this in the most disrespectful way possible as a first-generation American whose parent is not from this country. If you got here and you got papers and you agree with what's going on right now, fuck you. If you think that you're any better than the people that are being ripped away from their homes, their families, away from their jobs, the lives that they've built, just because you have papers, fuck you. And I say that with my whole entire heart.
My family did it legally. My family did it legally. Go ask your parents, go ask your grandparents what the actual procedure was for them to apply for residency in the United States. Because if you're Latino, odds are they were just granted amnesty back in the 80s, which means you did absolutely nothing special except be in the right place at the right time. In 1986, Congress passed the Immigration Reform and Control Act, which basically created a pathway to legal status for people that had been here for X number of years, which is not a bad thing. It just means that you were situationally, geographically, and generationally lucky, because if your family had immigrated just a generation or just a few years later, you would have been on this side of the fight. And as someone who has worked in immigration law for 9 years, I'm an immigrant myself, I've had 4 types of status, I've had no status, there are very few people that will actually advocate for the immigration system currently in place. It is entrapping, it is merciless, it is designed to favor the wealthy and the white, but it can never get fixed because immigrants can't vote for policy change. So they rely on you, the US citizen that looks like them, to advocate for change. But instead of trying to understand how complex and broken the system is, you are demanding that they do something that you never had to do. I'm just saying, make sure you understand the process and your own history before you speak on this issue.
Gotta admit, I do not care if you're undocumented and you're over here. Not even a little bit. And you know what? You really don't either. Because it doesn't affect you at all. In fact, these people, many of them, the majority of them I would even say, they are probably right there in your city, your neighbors, and you don't even know about it, and they are contributing to society. They're paying taxes, and in fact, a lot of taxes, to be fair, billions of dollars of taxes, and they don't get anything for those taxes that they're paying. They don't get to have any of the benefits that you and I do as being citizens here. In fact, even being over here is not a criminal offense. Not by federal law, not at all. It's a civil offense. If you are found to not have your papers ready with you, that is a civil offense. It's the same thing as if you were to go start living permanently in another state and you don't change your driver's license to match that state. Pretty similar, actually. Should people who want to come over here in the United States and live here permanently become citizens? Absolutely. We should make it easier for them. But don't sit there and pretend like you actually care if they're undocumented. Get out of here.
Hi, I'm Hannah, and I'm about to dismantle all of your useless anti-immigration commentaries. Number 1, they're criminals. They come here illegally. Undocumented in America is not a criminal offense. It's a civil offense. So like a parking ticket. Here's a quick thinking exercise. Can you imagine if law enforcement did raids in the street tear gassing people, hitting people with rubber bullets, cuffing them and dragging them away from their families because of an unpaid parking ticket? I can't. Also, you willingly voted in a felon, so you don't give a fuck about the law. Boom. Dismantled. Number 2. They commit crimes on U.S. soil. They're terrorists. It is so largely proven that immigrants commit crimes so much less than natural-born United States citizens, mostly because the vast majority of them aren't criminals. This can be easily sourced if you know how to read. Boom. Dismantled. 3. They're taking all of our jobs and our housing. There's a reason they do the jobs that they do. They very skillfully do backbreaking work that supports the wellness of our country that Americans tend to not really want to do. Also, aren't you the same people that say nobody wants to work anymore, and that people need to pull themselves up by the bootstraps, regardless of the economic climate? How is it that they're taking our jobs, and nobody can get a job, but also nobody wants to work? Pick a lane, bitch. Also, please enlighten me when an undocumented immigrant won a bid over a house from you. I'll wait. Boom. Dismantled. 4. Obama and Biden did this too. Yep, they deported people too. Neither of them were saints, and most of us don't claim them to be. However, I don't recall immigrants being scared for their lives and their families' lives under those administrations. People are being kidnapped, tackled, zip-tied, and sent away, with no legal authority to back it up. ICE agents are playing the role of not only law enforcement, but also the judge, which is illegal. Did you know that Obama actually set up policies to help undocumented children and families that Trump is now taking away? Boom. Dismantled. 5. They take advantage of our government and take all of our tax dollars. Undocumented immigrants largely do not qualify for government assistance, with some very rare exceptions. They literally do not have the capability to take advantage of our government. It is impossible enough as a citizen to try and apply for government assistance. The hoops that they make you jump through make it feel virtually impossible. Did you know that immigrants pay literal billions of dollars in taxes, federal, state, and local? In 2022, they paid $97 billion into our taxes. They pay into a system that they don't even benefit from. Boom. Dismantled. 6. I'm not racist, I just want to make America great again. You're just racist. Boom. Dismantled.
But these people are here illegally. Don't you care that they're illegal? In 1619, the first slave ship arrived in the Americas. It was filled with hundreds of people who were kidnapped illegally and forcefully brought across the ocean to be put in an institution that would last over 200 years. So forgive me if I don't give a flying fuck about what this country thinks is legal.